Hey, yo, what's up, guys? So I want you to take a look at this video that I have up right now. This is Kevin Durant on the court, and look at this fan sitting courtside or standing courtside. Look at the interaction between these two. Tell me if you think some funny business is going on, because this video is trending all over social media.
This shit red. Look at this shit. He just gave him the signal. He like, nah, I can't even do it. He like, you got to. Can't even do it.
Okay, that's crazy. Because it does look like, they are communicating. And maybe it's just one big coincidence. You can't really tell where KD is looking at. He might be looking at someone else in the crowd. And maybe he's just talking to himself and nodding his head. But it is weird that the fan is, doing hat signals, with his hat. But maybe it's just one big coincidence. Anyways, let's just take a look at that again, because it is pretty crazy here.
This shit red. Look at this shit.
Like when KD says no, the fan's like, yo, you got to do it. That's what it looks like.
Just gave him the signal. He like, nah, I can't even do it.
Right here.
He like, you got to. Can't even do it.
Individual.
Okay, so that's crazy. This story dropped yesterday morning, right after the NBA season opener. So it was trending everywhere on social media, CNN, ESPN. They were all playing it. And this is Kash Patel. So I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to play this video of Kash Patel talking about this. And then Stephen A. Smith had one of the craziest takes about this, because he blamed Trump. He basically blamed Donald Trump for this, even though the FBI, the DOJ or FBI, they've been investigating this since like 2023, before Trump got into office. Anyways, play this. I'll play this. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to show you evidence, more evidence of how players were cheating, like video evidence, how they were cheating in the NBA games, one player, and how they were cheating in poker, because this is also related to underground, illegal, high stakes poker. So I'm going to show you how they were cheating in poker, what glasses they were using, because it's crazy, because you could see all the cards. Anyways, let's go to Kash Patel here.
Such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra, to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families.
In some instances, players altered their performance or took themselves out of games to make sure that those bets paid out. One example occurred on March 23rd, 2023 in Charlotte. Terry Rozier, an NBA player now with the Miami Heat, but at the time playing for the Hornets, allegedly let others close to him know that he planned to leave the game early with a supposed injury. Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200,000 in wagers on his under statistics. Rozier exited the game after just 9 minutes, and those bets paid out, generating tens of thousands of dollars in profit. The proceeds were later delivered to his home, where the group counted their cash. As the NBA season tips off, his career is already benched, not for injury, but for integrity.
Anyways, let's go to Stephen A. Smith here, because yesterday morning on ESPN's First Take, he gave this wild take that, blaming Trump. Let's have a listen here.
World that I live in terms of politics. How many times, for one incident after another, have I said, Trump is coming? He's coming. I'm going to say it on national television again. Bad Bunny is performing at the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden you hearing ICE is going to be there, looking to engage in mass deportations. The Super Bowl, disrupting things. Big night for the NBA. Wembanyama put on a show. That has now been smeared because we're talking about this story, okay? Remember, Trump has a long, long history connected to the world of sports because he had those casinos. Where do you think folks were coming half the time? I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the culture. When people want to go to a casino, when people want to gamble, when people want to party, or whatever the case may be, this was his kind of connection to that. Why am I glad you're here, Monica? Because don't be surprised if the WNBA is next on his list.
That is a crazy take. What does the WNBA have to do with anything? Trump doesn't give. No one even watches that league. Their ratings are tanked. Especially with Caitlin Clark out. I think the season's over anyways, but their ratings suck. Like the WNBA is not even on Trump's radar. Okay, this is a wild take. He talks even more crazier stuff after this.
Because when you've got all of these protests that have been going out there and people that have been protesting against him and what have you, this man is coming. He's coming. And I've been saying it for a long time. And to me, this is the latest nugget of evidence that we're talking about right here. That's not to question the legitimacy of the case. We don't know. We're all sitting up here and we're saying that we don't know. But anybody that has been around him, anybody that has talked to him, anybody that has seen his reactions from the sports leagues and the positions that people have taken, they are not surprised at what's going on today. I'm watching a press conference with the director of the FBI. Tell me when we've seen that. We've seen accusations before. We've seen athletes get in trouble with the law before. You don't see the director of the FBI having a press conference.
Okay, that's different. That's local level. Like Ja Morant, when he got in trouble with a gun, illegal firearm. That's local level. This is the FBI we're talking about. And sports betting, illegal sports betting and connections with the Italian mob for, illegal underground poker, high stakes poker, that is FBI stuff, okay? So I don't understand what Stephen A. Smith's issue is with Kash Patel leading this press conference here. But this is Kash's job, okay? I really have no idea. But I'll tell you why. I know the reason why Stephen A. Smith is bringing this stuff up, okay? I'll get into it a bit later.
It's not an accident. It's a statement. And it's a warning that more is coming. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're saying here. And everybody better, I'm just telling you, it's as serious as it gets. This ain't the platform for me to get into it the way I'm going to get into it. But I've been saying he's coming. He's coming. Because in his eyes, folks try to throw him in jail. In his eyes, he's innocent. They try to put me behind bars. I'm getting everybody. He's not playing. And so this, in a lot of people's eyes, talk to people in the NBA, talk to people in the NFL, talk to people in the world of sports. They think this is like the tip of the iceberg. These are the kind of words that are coming out of people's mouths. It's not a surprise. It's very disheartening. It's very concerning. We don't know where this is going to go. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Everybody's better brace themselves because he's coming.
Yeah, down the street. By the way, this was so wild. Stephen A. Smith, the sports commentator, suggested that this was revenge from the president for all the kind of left-wing activism of the NBA. Your response to that, 15 seconds.
I'm the FBI director. I decide which arrests to conduct and which not to conduct. That may be the single dumbest thing I've ever heard out of anyone in modern history, and I live most of my time in Washington, D.C. It's right up there with Adam Schiff. We arrest people for crimes.
Absolutely right, Rich.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you why Stephen A. Smith made this comment. Because he was getting so much heat. I made a video earlier today, another video about Stephen A. Smith bending the knee to the black liberals because he was getting canceled after attacking Jasmine Crockett. Well, not attacking. He made a comment saying that, she should tone down her rhetoric against Trump and try and work with the other side. Anyways, the black liberals, they lost it and he was getting canceled. It was going on for 10 days because he, at first, when they were trying to cancel him, he doubled down and he refused to bend the knee. Then yesterday or a couple of days ago, he finally bent the knee. I made a video about that, so you can check that out too. And I'm pretty sure Stephen A. Smith was trying to, take the attention away from that story and move it to this here, to put the blame on Trump. How is Trump supposed to be blamed on this? Okay. There was an investigation. This investigation started with the Biden FBI in 2023. Okay, Trump wasn't in an office.
The NBA at some point is going to have to explain why Terry Rozier was allowed to keep playing. And I just want to point something out. The sports books caught the irregular betting on Terry Rozier the day it happened, the morning it happened, when all of a sudden there was hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in on Terry Rozier unders for a relatively meaningless game in March, involving the Charlotte Hornets. The sports books caught it. They told the NBA right away. And guess what? The NBA, Rozier didn't play the rest of the season. And he had faked the injury, so it wasn't because of the injury. The NBA pulled him. They pulled Jonte Porter too. They flagged Jonte Porter and pulled Jonte Porter. The NBA's measures, their protection measures, the sportsbook's protection measures triggered this. They caught it. The issue, I think, is Jonte Porter. They caught.
Okay, so that's Brian Windhorst talking about how NBA Commissioner Adam Silver might be screwed because of what he did with this Terry Rozier investigation. Basically lying, saying that he was injured, but basically suspending him, allegedly. Anyways, so I'm going to show you this video here, okay? This is how they cheat in poker. That is crazy. That is crazy stuff. Okay, now take a look at Terry Rozier here, okay? This game, they have a compilation from the highlights from this game. Look at how he's playing, okay? You tell me if he's not throwing the game.
And the meter's still running, Richard. And still going. Rozier turned it over again. Having a tough
That is
night.
crazy.
And Rozier off the DHO. And he turned it over. Turn it up. But you don't want to play with your crew, especially against the Miami Heat. I tell you, hey, you don't like playing in Miami? Yeah. Better do it. Lock down to 3. They got to get busy. Rozier with a 9-1-1 comes up short. And on Merrill. Rozier, a contested 3 is short. The ultimate teammates and sacrifice so much. Rozier on the show and go. That all year. Empty corner 2-man game. Rozier with a 3. Anderson with a rebound. Rozier relocates for another try. Well, that was awfully